important that we keep some of the individual awards, and in particular the Industry Achievement Award, which is, the premier award that we've been giving out now for the last 2 decades. And I'm delighted that after a lot of discussion among the judges, you were a very clear winner, and I'm sure Jonathan is going to sort of explain some of the reasons that they came to that decision. As I say, because it's not an OPI award, it's an industry award voted for by a number of very important, influential people within our sector across Europe. So I'm delighted, Jonathan, that you can join us today, and of course, as our previous winner of this award from 2019. So yeah, thank you.
2020.
2020, yeah, no, last year.
Last year, sorry, yes, of course, yes. Yeah. God, yeah, who knows? All this working from home.
Every day looks the same. It's hard to know.
Every day does look the same. But yeah, so Jonathan, thanks. I'm sure you'd like to say a few words on behalf of our judges.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, how weird is this, really? Normally when this award is presented, the award winner has no idea until gradually through the speech by the presenter, there's a few clues and you hear the word Austria or you hear something, and then you think, hang on, that could be me. And then it becomes obvious. And at that stage, Richard, you would immediately be surprised and stop drinking the red wine and realize that in a few minutes you need to step up to the stage and receive an award or and say a few words. Well, like everything else in the last 12 months, it's a bit different this year. I was thinking about it this morning. We've been at least 24 hours in the Okura Hotel. We've had a big dinner, we've had lots of networking, we've had lots of wine. All that's changed unless, what is it now, 12:05 in Austria, unless you've got a glass of Gruner Veltliner there. your first of the day.
Usually this should be in the evening, so even in Austria, we stick to water.
Coffee, I know it's not the same. It's a real privilege to present you virtually with this award, Richard. As Steve indicated, the decision of the judges was 100% unanimous, and that's pretty rare in all the awards we have. There's lots of fierce debate normally, but there wasn't on this one. And today's presentation is very timely, as it's only, 2 weeks ago you announced the acquisition of the Staples global account business in Europe. Another pretty significant step in the PBS growth strategy that's seen you, and I would say quietly and efficiently, develop your business in new channels and new markets all over Central, Eastern, Southern Europe. I know Avery has been tracking PBS for many years now, as you not only grew your core business in Central Europe, but expanded to the East and to the South, both through acquisition and through greenfield. Your ability to adapt your business model to suit the needs of the market you were going to, whether it was wholesaling, whether it was B2B, whether it was B2C, is really impressive. These days, everyone would say that was pivoting, and pivoting has been the buzzword for the last 12 months, but it seems to me that you've been pivoting for many years now. The published sales data I could check tracked you, I think, in 2019 at 320 million euros approximately.
Something like this.
And again, I think that was at least the 5th successive year of growth. I don't think you've missed a beat in that time. And I mentioned the business performance of PBS because it's not as though you've just arrived there. It's clearly in your blood. and I think it's 27 years you've been in one form or another with PBS. I believe there was a brief excursion somewhere else for a year or so, but 27 years, and CEO for 16 years. And if you mention PBS, the name Richard Sharman is synonymous with PBS. The two go together. And I don't think it's coincidence that you and your two board colleagues have between you 75 years of experience in PBS.
Wow.
And you have clearly a bone deep understanding of the market and its dynamics. And as you will know, that's quite unusual these days. That longevity is quite unusual. You're held in huge regard in the vendor community. I asked Peter Spell for a few words, who's the head of our Avery's Vet Form Central and Eastern business, and let me quote what he said in his email to me. He said, "Richard is a visionary thinker in our industry. He was the first one to start the IT-driven automation of logistics and ERP processes in the back end and the front end to drive efficiency and scale up the business. He's open, honest, and reliable, both as a person and a business partner." And another one of your biggest branded vendors told me, "I value Richard being a straight shooter and his well-applied strategic thinking, aiming for a long-term win-win with suppliers, has clear thought on how he likes to shape the local PBS trade, knowing what role PBS can play in that market through acquisitions and expansion, always constructive in our relationship management, accepting and taking our thoughts on how to improve our mutual performance." And that kind of says it all, Richard. So I'm extremely honored and delighted to present you with the 2021 European Office Products Lifetime
Look at that,
Award.
as if by magic.
There it is.
Just threw it over. We should Richard, do you mind holding that up for a moment so we can take a little picture?
So yeah, we have Lisa in the background there who's taking screenshots. That's a good shot,
little,
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, give it a little tweak so we have a bit less window and it's got a bit of reflection. Ah, yeah, that's better. That's better. Perfect.
Is that okay, Lisa?
Perfect.
George.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So Richard, yeah, so let me have my congratulations. We are recording this and we'll be publishing this in in various different forms. Would you like to say any words in response? You obviously don't have the benefit of lots of red wine inside you.
So thanks a lot. Thanks for presenting this award to me, and Jonathan for your little speech on my past and my efforts I took in this industry. And it was really impressive to hear you talking about this, because personally it feels just boring for me, being in this industry for 20 years, doing the same stuff and not doing it in a complete different way. It's just keep on doing the things you used to and the things you believe in. I think this is the major issue I'm really believing in, and therefore it's nothing special. And I was really surprised when Steve told me that this award will be for me this year. And I said, my God, what have I done to deserve this? Because I know this outstanding persons and personality that usually receive those awards. And I was not seeing myself among that group. That's pretty clear. And the more I kept thinking about this, the more I said, well, maybe the success of PBS plays into that. But by the end of the day, it's not just the success of the company, because usually success has many fathers, so it's not just one single person. And sometimes, to be honest, you just have to bet on the right horse. So it's not that great strategic approaches that always comes to a bright end. So it's sometimes you just have to be lucky, and therefore it has to be something personal. And recognizing this, I think being straightforward, committed, trustful, and very transparent, and committed to this industry. might be the main reason for this award. And if this is the case, I'm really grateful and even more honored, because if this is the recognition by my fellow friends in this industry, I really feel great about this situation. And as we all know, it's a global industry, but it's a really small place. It's not overcrowded. You know the people, you know the faces, you know their background, and usually it's a pretty sticky place. It's hard to get out of this industry. I tried it once, selling aircraft, and I ended up in this industry once again. Because in some cases, paper clips might be more attractive than aircraft engines. Even was a learning for me. And of course, all these relationships you build up in this industry, it's really not about speed dating. You see those people usually at least twice. So keep that in mind and be straightforward and responsible in the things you're doing in this industry. And that's a great story for me. And this is why I feel so comfortable being part of this industry. And this is why I'm grateful that I still have the chance to keep on cooperating and working together with all those peers and people in the industry. So overall, I'm just grateful for this, really happy to make this experience. And I enjoy listening to Jonathan about my great achievements I did, obviously. Wonderful. Thanks again.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, Richard. Well done.